for pay, but to hear his voice say, well done today. The last shall rise, the proud bow low. Yahuwah's mercy overflows. Yahushua, lead me through. Teach me to serve and walk in truth. Your love's my wage, your grace my due. Forever Yahuwah, I'll live for you. The proud ones grumbled when the day was proud. A crown of thorns, a robe of shame. Yet love burned bright through every pain. They mock the Hamashiach's name, but mercy stood, no curse he claimed. The veil was torn, the earth did shake. The power of Yahuwah, awake Yahushua, Adon of grace. You bore our sin, you took our place. Your Ruach breath still speaks today. Through the stake, you made a way. They nailed his hands, they pierced his side. Yet for the lost he bled and cried. Forgive them, Father, was his plea. Love eternal, deep as the sea. The Kodesh Lamb, the price was paid. Our debt erased, the way was made. Darkness fell from noon till 3. The Shemayim wept in agony. The ground split open, stones did break. Even the graves began to wake. Messengers bowed before his pain. For Yahushua broke the chain. The veil was torn, the earth did shake. The power of Yahuwah, awake Yahushua, Adon of grace. You bore our sin, you took our place. Your Ruach breath still speaks today. Through the stake, you made a way. A soldier stood and saw the sign. This truly was the Ben divine. Women watched from far away as hope seemed lost that darkened day. But love was stronger than the grave. For Yahuwah's hand was there to save. Baruch be the name above, who turned our sorrow into love. When all seemed lost, the truth was born. Through Hamashiach, the veil was torn. No wall between, no shadow stain. Yahushua reigns forever the same. The veil was torn, the earth did shake. The power of Yahuwah, awake Yahushua, Adon of grace. You bore our sin, you took our place. Your Ruach breath still speaks today. Through the stake, you made a way. From the garden tears to the mountain stone, Yahuwah reigns from his throne. In the hearts of those made new, we sing. The veil was torn. Yahuwah reigns from his throne. In the hearts of those made new, we sing. The veil was torn.
Shabbat Shalom, beautiful people out there. My name is Jason,
I'm Caden. I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
and we are the Yahuwah and the Torah YouTube channel, and we are very, very happy that you guys are with us on this beautiful Shabbat day, this beautiful appointed day that our Creator has led and given to us and said that this is the way back to me. This is a sign upon the people of the kingdom, those who are willing to be obedient and those who aren't. And so congratulations to everybody out there who is in covenant with our Creator, those who love the beautiful laws, the statutes, and the commandments that have been given to us by our Creator for all times, all generations, all peoples. This is our focus of this channel, is the Torah and our Messiah. And it's one of these things that it's a two-lane road. And you got to take up both lanes of this road to achieve the transport like you want to transport into the kingdom to come. And if you just have one half of it, but you don't have the other half of it, then you're missing a piece of it. And we have 40,000 different denominations of Christianity. And every one of these 40,000 different denominations has a different rule book, has a different playbook, has a different set of doctrine. It has different things that we've never even heard of when it comes to scriptures. And everybody in these religions are saved. Everybody is able to get on their knees and pray, and once saved, always saved. And they are just living their best life now, and they don't have to worry about the kingdom to come. But as I read through scriptures and I read from the beginning of the book to the very end of the book, there's no such thing as an easy way into the kingdom. We are given this lands and these lives and this time that we have been given as a testing period of life. This is our testing that we will see, do our hearts add up to the people of the kingdom? Do our lives represent those who are in covenant with our Creator? Are we doing everything possible that we can do as children of the Most High to ensure that we are passing this test with good grades? We don't want to be flunkies. We don't want to flunk out of this test. This is one of these tests that there's no going back for. There's no retakes of these tests. We have one test, and so if our Creator has opened your eyes and opened your ears and allowed you to see His beautiful ways, His beautiful Torah, that's all the reason to thank Him more and more and more. Not only for the beautiful creation of giving us life and giving us a soul and giving us the ability just to walk around and have the kind of body functions that we have. It's an incredible world that we have been given to, and we're just racing. We're racing from one end to the other end, and we don't actually know what we're racing for. Most of the world has no accountability. Most people don't realize that the last time that you take your last breath will be the day of accounting, will be the day that we either go to the good side or we go to the bad side. We either find massive shalom, massive peace, or we find massive torment. And so it is while we have these chance and this opportunity that we still have breath in our lungs and vision in our eyes that we can serve our Elohim Most High. We can serve the Creator of the universe and give back to Him the loyalty that He has given to us. You see, none of us invented each other. None of us invented anything. The best that we can hope to do is create something that somebody's already created. But in the world of creation, when you look at the beauty of nature, when you look at the beauty of human anatomy, when you look at the beauty of animals, and you look at all of this stuff in function, that you look at it all together, there's no doubt there's an intelligent designer. And this intelligent designer hasn't just given us this beautiful place to walk and said, have at it. He has said, I want you to serve me. I am going to give you a good set of instructions. I am going to give you a good set of guidelines. And if you will obey these laws, these statutes and commandments, I will be your Elohim, and you will be my people. And so it is with that, everybody. I wish you guys a Shabbat Shalom. Thank you again for hanging out with us at this little ecclesiacade. Will you please open us up in prayer?
Christian Father, thank you for this day, and thank you for blessing us, and thank you for taking this family, bringing us together. Please bless this day that we are under your Kodesh umbrella, that we are under your Ruach as we dive into your word. We've learned your Torah, we learn the words of your Son, we learn what you have set out for us, what you have given to us many, many, many years ago, and you're waiting for your people to come back to you now. We thank you for all in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, Jade, will you please Shema our brothers and sisters?
Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your might. And these words I command you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children. And shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And shall bind them to the sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
Okay, so there we are. We've been given just some basic instructions that in these basic instructions, we are told that we need to love our Creator with all our heart, mind, and soul. We need to talk about His laws, His statutes, and commandments before we go to bed. When we get up, we need to be praying that we are staying in covenant and that the Ruach HaKodesh of our Elohim Most High will embolden us to be strong and to let us know when we have done wrong. And these are the things that we will be judged upon. The laws, the statutes, the commandments. The same laws, statutes, and commandments we're just about to go over. And this is why we go over these every single Shabbat. It's a way of memory. It's a way of writing them on our hearts, minds, and souls that maybe people out there are able to get a little further ahead in this world. When you are under the covenant, when you're under the umbrella of the Torah, this is the way of real life. And so, Miss Nicole, will you please say hello to our brothers and sisters that are out there?
All right, we have Chris, Sue, Sarah and William, Danny Boy, Razul, Gail, Grace, new name, welcome to you. And then we have Inner City Homestead, but I guess her name is Trisha, so welcome to you. We have Jeremy and Callan. Here's a new name, and I'm not quite sure, Jade.
He's not quite sure either.
I'm
Give it
just
a
going
run.
to say Juanito.
Yes, he's the last part of it.
Juanito, welcome to you. Loving Yah, Sylvia Ewerts, Robert, Sandra, Brandy and family, Joanna, scrolling, Walking His Way, Richie James, Candy and Ruby. I'm scrolling down here, lots of people here today. Joanna, I might have already said her. Tesla.
She's so nice, we'll say it twice.
Talissa, I think is how you say that. Welcome to you. Mama CA, Honeymoon Stitch, Brian, Obi Lines, the Grandma's here. I think that's everybody, and if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. There's a lot of people in here today.
That's a full house compared to the little house that we normally go on. And
all the new people.
And all the new people, yeah. Welcome to everybody that is out there. You know, we are Baruch. We are blessed when it comes to being able to sit around this little tiny table on a Shabbat on the appointed times as we go over Yah's word and Yah's laws. And, you know, back in the days of Ezra and Nehemiah, they couldn't do this, right? They didn't have the technology that we all have right here. And, you know, a lot of people throw stones at the technology. You know, a lot of people are always tossing rocks at AI, tossing rocks at all this other stuff. And a lot of people don't actually understand anything about technology. And, you know, it's, you know, the one thing that, you know, we get a lot on, and we're about to put out a lot of music. We have over 8 hours of music without repeats that we're going to be putting on a live stream here in the next day, maybe tonight. But it's going to be brand new music that has never ever been heard before. And we use a lot of technology when it comes to this. There's tremendous amounts of technology. And I get a lot of people that are always throwing rocks at me, and they're like, "Oh, this is wicked. You shouldn't be using technology for this." And at that, I don't know if anyone actually even understands what the entire internet is. I mean, if you're talking about throwing rocks at technology that you're using for the kingdom work, well, you might as well be off the internet. You probably shouldn't be using the internet, because when the internet came about, we had a pornography, just dystopia, that just went crazy. Prior to the days of the internet, all you had were these dirty magazines that they just sold behind the counters with little things over them. Once the internet came here, it basically made adulterers of the entire world. Pornography is still over 60% of what the internet has. And if you're looking at tossing rocks at technology, we should probably, first of all, get off the internet and don't even use this technology. You probably shouldn't be using a cell phone either, right? Yes, all of this stuff is made by the powers that be, and it's the powers that be that use this against the people. But if you're sitting out here and you're creating things that are going to hook people, the stragglers that are out there, into the kingdom, that's what this channel is all about. And so we're going to be tossing out a lot of music in the next couple of weeks, a lot of live streams on a couple of different channels. They're really, really good music. I was finishing up yesterday listening to it. It's just great. We have a praise and worship that's over 7.5 hours. We also have some blues that are about the same time. And what you'll get when you're listening to the music from this channel is everything in this first batch of music is 100% from Matthew. So as you sit and sing along with this, if you do, then you will actually be reading the book of Matthew as well. Now, there's nothing better than actually reading scriptures, but with all the satanic music and all the satanic stuff that is out there, people are just tapping their feet and singing demonic lyrics. They're demonic lyrics. And the other day I had a song that came through in my feed. I'd never even heard of this person before. I'm not even going to say the person's name because they're a bunch of demons. Never heard of them. But I'm sitting there listening to it, and I swear the song said something about Lucifer. And I'm like, wow, could this really say something about Lucifer? So I went and looked up the lyrics, and the very first line of this little demon girl that is out there says, "My Lucifer is lonely." And then she goes off talking about how good girls are all in hell, and Lucifer is a great one. And I just, when you are in a world of production like we are, where we're always trying to find things, good music, things that are Kodesh, things that are not demonic, it's hard to find it out there. And just even for us on Shabbat here, we don't have any music that we can put up because every single one of these people that do this on YouTube will copyright strike you, and then they'll start sending all of you guys demonic ads. And this is one of the reasons that we've never served ads on this channel. We will never, ever corrupt ourselves pulling in money from the eyes and windows of the people's souls. It just doesn't make any sense. So we're real excited about the music that's coming forth, and every one of you guys, we're gonna put it's over a gig of a download, but we're gonna put links to it. You guys will be able to download it. It's free of charge. There's no copyright on any of this stuff. Use as you wish, and hopefully you guys will be able to find some glorification to the Creator of the universe as we do this. So guys, let us get into the greatest things we've been given. Miss Nicole, will you please put the links for the Yah Scriptures? Yah Scriptures is the greatest English translation that has ever been delivered out there. And the Spanish app is taking off a little bit. This week we got Maandiko in. It is Swahili. Swahili has been completely finished. It is going to the Google Store now. It is already on the Apple Store. So if any of you guys speak Swahili, go ahead. Portuguese is on its way up. Hindu is almost done. By the time we are done, we will have 5 different languages that cover 300 million different people. And I was really excited, and I'm like, you know what?
Wasn't it billion? Not
300 billion, excuse me. Yeah, 300 billion. Thank you, Mr. Cole. Because I know from what the official logs, we have 8, 9 billion people on this planet,
No,
supposedly.
3 billion, not 300 billion.
Yeah, 3 billion.
Did I say 3 billion? I'm off the deep end. This is why I have to have a consortium of people around me, because
3 billion.
you never know. You got to check me at the door. So it's a lot. 3 billion people. Yes, 8 billion people in the world. So we're going to do one more language, which is Mandarin Chinese, because we're going to get an extra 1.5 billion. And they say that you can't get scriptures into the Chinese market. And I'm going to see what we can do and try to get these through the back doors, if you know what I mean, and see if we can get people downloading this. But I do know they get into some kind of trouble over in China. And so we're still going forward with it. And so we thank everybody who has been reading the Yah Scriptures. There's a tremendous amount of people that read these every single day. The digital versions have over 10,000 of the ones on the stores. And then I think we have close to 100,000 of the PDF and all the other versions that we have over the years. So when you're looking at our people out there actually reading the scriptures, they are. And it's very encouraging, because you don't know exactly, when it says, Second Ezra says that most people don't make it. It's a drop of water compared to the waves. It's good that we're seeing people that are reading these scriptures the way they are, in the hand of our Creator that is working amongst His people. All right, so let's get into this, guys. This is these beautiful, tremendous, stupendous, awesome commandments that have been given to us, that all of these demonic religions are saying these are in the trash. These have been nailed to the cross. We buried these things when Moshe died. We buried all the laws, and then when our Messiah came, he got rid of them all. He started a whole new thing. And for those of us who are in scriptures, we know that is not true. That did not happen. These laws have never been nailed to the cross or tossed in the trash. They are good for us today, tomorrow, and for all generations. So as we go through these, guys, these are for all of us. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, let me know. Commandment numero uno is be fruitful.
Number 2, multiply.
Replenish the earth.
Subdue it.
Have dominion over the fish, fowl, and every living creature.
You are bearing, every tree is for food.
Man and woman should build their own families.
Master sin. Every clean moving thing that lives shall be food for you.
Do not eat the blood.
Walk before me and be perfect. Guard Yahuwah's covenant, laws, statutes, and commandments.
Every male child shall be circumcised 8 days old.
Teach your children the commands and guard the way of Yahuwah. Remember Yahuwah's name for all generations.
Keep the Passover, Pesach.
Keep the feast of unleavened bread, the festival of matzah.
There is one Torah for the stranger and the Hebrew.
Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah. There are no mighty ones before Yahuwah.
You shall not make graven images.
Do not bring Yahuwah's name to naught. Keep the Shabbat, the Sabbath day.
Honor your parents.
Do not kill. Do not break wedlock.
Do not steal.
Do not make false accusations against your neighbor. Do not covet anything of your neighbor's.
Do not make an altar from rock that a tool has touched.
Do not go up to the altar by the steps. If a man steals cattle, you shall restore it 5 times.
Yahuwah's laws for criminals.
Do not lie with feast. No sacrifices to other Elohim.
Do not oppress a stranger, fatherless, or widow.
Do not charge your brother interest. If you borrow your neighbor's raiment, return it to him before sunset.
Do not curse the ruler of your people.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast. No false report.
Do not follow a multitude of evil.
Do not judge righteously against the poor. Bring back your enemy's cattle if you find it going astray.
Help the animals of your enemy.
Stay away from rumors and gossipers. Take no bribes.
Do not oppress a stranger, love the stranger.
Give your land rest in the 7th year. Do not mention any pagan names.
Keep the feast of Yahuwah.
Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk. Obey the messenger who has sent before you. Do not bow down to other Elohim.
Serve Yahuwah.
Make no covenant with other Elohim or outsiders of the land.
Do not make Jesus anointing oil honorable person. Do not make Jesus perfume honorable person.
Do not eat the fat. Do what you say you are going to do.
Return what is your neighbor's.
Obey his dietary laws. When it's time of separation.
Obey Yahuwah's hygiene laws.
Keep the Day of Atonement, Yom HaKippurim. Do not cover the nakedness of your family.
Do not take your woman's sister for a wife.
Do not lie with a woman in her uncleanness. You shall not sacrifice your children Moloch.
Do not be a sodomite.
Do be Kadesh, holy. Do not reap the corners of your field, or you shall not glean your vineyard.
Do not deal falsely or defraud your neighbor.
Do not lie or be a liar. Pay your workers for the day's wage they are due.
Do not harm the disabled.
Do not endanger your neighbor.
Do not hate your brother.
Rebuke your neighbor for his sin. Love your neighbor as yourself.
Do not diverse your cattle.
Do not mingle your seed. Do not mingle linen and wool.
Do not lie with a taken woman.
Do not eat the fruit of the trees for 3 years. Do not practice sorcery.
Do not round your beard at the corners of your head.
Do not cut yourself for the dead. Do not get tattoos.
Do not prostitute your daughter.
Do not defile your temple. Do not consult the medium.
Respect your elders.
Have correct weights and measures. Do not walk in the manners of the nations.
Keep the Feast of First Fruits, Shavuot, overcount, Pentecost.
Keep the Feast of Trumpets, Yom Torah. Keep the Feast of Sukkot, Shemini Atzeret.
If you bless in the name of Yahuwah, you shall be put to death.
If you kill an animal, you must give him another. Repay injury for injury.
Honor the Yobel, Jubilee year.
Confess your sins to Yahuwah and repay who you have trespassed against.
The law of being a Nazir.
Wear tzitzit on the 4 corners of your garments. The Torah of whoever touches a corpse.
Follow Yahuwah's law of inheritance.
Torah of keeping your oath to Yahuwah. Do not add or take away from the word.
Guard your soul.
Learn to fear Yahuwah. You shall love Yahuwah with all your heart.
Bind the laws upon your hand and the frontlets between your eyes.
Write the laws on your doorposts. Do not tempt Yahuwah.
Do what is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah.
Do not
Keep to Yahuwah.
swear by his name. Destroy graven images.
Do not make an idol of Yahuwah as the pagans do to their Elohim.
Rejoice in all Yahuwah has blessed you with. Do not do what is right in your own eyes.
Do not hearken to the words of false prophets.
Do not make any bones between your eyes for the dead. You shall not eat any abominable thing.
You shall give to a stranger clean food that dies of itself, but you shall not eat of it.
Give tithe your increase of seed year by year.
Laws of the end of the 7-year release.
Do not borrow from the nations.
Do not harden your heart nor shut your hand from the poor.
Guard month 1 of Yahuwah's calendar.
3 times a year all males shall appear before Yahuwah.
You shall make judges and officers in all your gates.
Do not plant Asherah poles near the altar.
There must be 2 or 3 witnesses.
Hearken to the prophet Yahuwah has chosen.
Prophetess of Deuteronomy.
Do not remove your neighbor's property line.
How to deal with a false witness among Torah keepers.
The first child get double portions.
If your brother's cattle or clothes are lost and you find them, you must return them.
A woman should not wear what pertains to a man, nor a man wear what pertains to a woman.
If you find a bird's nest with the mother and the babies or eggs, take the babies, but not the mother.
If you build a new house with a flat roof that has already lived on, you must put a railing around it.
Do not be a prostitute.
Do not use dirty money.
Torah, divorce.
Do not take a person's millstone for a pledge.
If you lend to your brother, do not enter his house to get your payment. He must bring it to you. Return his clothing before sunset if that was his pledge.
Do not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy.
Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. Do not go back for the forgotten sheep from the field, and leave it for the stranger, fatherless, and widow.
Do not muzzle your ox when he treads out grain.
If your brother dies and has no child, you will take his wife and name the firstborn after your brother.
At the end of 7 years, you are to read the Torah at the Feast of Sukkot.
All right, so here we are, everybody. Those are those Torah commands, right? These are simple enough Torah commands, and you get those from the first 5 books of Scriptures. And in the first 5 books of Scriptures, sometimes they reiterate themselves. Like the one that says, guard Yahuwah's covenant laws, statutes, and commands. That's reiterated over 53 times in Scriptures alone. One of the largest commands that we have ever been given in terms of the times it has been repeated to us. And so when you are looking at a command that's over nearly 60 times, it says, guard the laws. It's something that is obviously a problem, or our Creator wouldn't have to have reiterated so many times. Sue Smith says, when it says, do not mention any pagan names, can you explain this, please? So, well, here's the thing is we live in a world of pagan names, right? From the days of the week to the months of the calendar year, everything is under this. Now, this commandment is that we are not supposed to do what the nations do. We're supposed to be separated. We're supposed to be set apart. And if we're out there and we're saying pagan names, then we are bringing these pagan names to light, right? The thing about when we speak something, whether it's good or whether it's bad, it vibrates off our tongues, and either the good or the damage is done. And in the world of all these pagan entities, and they're all around us, right? They're constantly. You look at the United States of America, and look Washington D.C., right? The entire thing is built on obelisks and even swastikas, and all of these pentagrams, right? There's all these pentagrams. There's a pentagon. There's all of these things, and they all come back to worshiping Elohim that are not our Elohim Most High, right? It's a lowercase Elohim. When we're talking about the Elohim Most High, we're talking about Yahuwah, and we're talking about his ways. And he's not sharing deity with anyone, right? And in a perfect land, none of us would ever there'd be no reason for us to ever mention a pagan name when it comes to this. And so in our words, in our deeds, in our actions, as we're doing this, we don't want to lift up the names of demonic entities that people literally get on their hands and knees to. One of the things is Istar, right? That's a pagan name, right? Even if you're contributing to Istar and saying Istar the way it is, Easter, you're still saying a goddess of Istar. And so these are all the things that, we're trying to get out of our culture, get out of our word spelling that we have all incorporated into. And so basically, you're not going to want to sit around and have a conversation about demonic entities, right? We don't serve them. We don't care about them. It is what the world does. And so we keep it out of our hearts, minds, and souls. And so, I think that may cover it. Just, it's like... I try not to say pagan god names. Even I say, it's you can't even say the days of the week without saying a pagan god's name. Is how entrenched all these Satanists are around us. That throughout the generations, centuries, and decades, these guys have replaced all of this stuff. You look at the back of a $1 bill, right? All of these guys, the Freemasons, all the people of the United States of America, the politicians, they serve Lucifer, right? They serve Hasatan. Same for the Catholics. Not openly, right? Everyone's like, oh no, I'm a good Christian. But deep down, what they serve is they all serve the king of darkness. And so we just want to be very, very pure, not say anything like this, and try to keep ourselves as pure as possible. All right, did we go over Deuteronomy, Jade?
We have not yet.
Okay, so let's roll over Deuteronomy.
So Deuteronomy, we get the first couple chapters. There's a recap of Moses' times, what happened. They went into slavery. At 400 years, Yahuwah sent Moses, freed them from slavery. They got out. A lot of plagues happened to Egypt. A lot of them died. And then they made over the Red Sea. They went into some battles. People were scared of them. They tried to fight them. They lost. A lot of the people of Israel went astray, fighting against Yahuwah, complaining, grumbling, having issues with Yahuwah. They wanted to go back to Mitzrayim. A lot of them died because of plagues or diseases Yahuwah sent upon them for being evil people. And then Moshe starts giving us more commands to obey the law forever. That the law is good forever. He says, this is your generation, what you're going to do. And he says, when you go into the land, make sure you do this. And he just starts setting out guidelines what to do when you get into the land. And so here we are, with that.
Okay. All right, guys. So here we are. Nimrod, original Freemason. Brian's talking about inventing the religion, building the tower. Yeah, the Tower of Babel was like a portal, right? I mean, it wasn't just, we're talking about powers of darkness. It's not just a brick and mortar thing that, a lot of people have been led to. We're talking about a Stargate style thing that all of these guys were planning on doing. It was a huge, huge thing. Let's see. Yeah, even if people know what Jesus means, they don't care. Yeah, and people, they do. They're like, well, that means to me. But, it's a Hebrew man's name is not going to be called a Greek pagan god, Jesus, right? So, people don't see, they don't see the irony in all of this. They don't see the info blackout that all of us have been accustomed to. And those who are the winners of these wars and winners of all of these things have changed all of our history. So, most people don't know. You got the people out there that are the King James version. They're like, this is the infallible word of the Most High. And, the infallible word of the Most High, as they claim, has, 7,000 names. 7,000 different times they took the name of our Creator out. Over 4,000 times with our Messiah. And so everybody's replaced it. Everybody's good to go. And at the end of the day, I don't know if so much a salvation issue, even though there's verses that say there's no other name under heaven by which men may be saved, and we still get that wrong. But I don't think ignorance is going to take us down that kind of a road if we can't get an enunciation right. People are always, arguing over how do you say the name Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahu. There's just a lot of different names. And the thing is, we're arguing over what people's English interpretations are when we have the Paleo Hebrew. That is, you can sound that out to the very best of your ability and stick with something like that. And it's far closer than the name God, right? And so, all right, let's continue on. Here we are. Deuteronomy 8. And, we just talked about, over 53 times we're told to guard the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator. And here we are. This chapter is going to begin with this same thing. Guard, to do every command which I command you today. And guys, that today is not just back in the day. This is today. If you guys are hearing my voice reverberations, if you guys are understanding what's coming out of my mouth, if you're understanding what is in the scriptures right here, this is for all of us, for all time. Guard to do every command which I command you today, that you might live and shall increase and go in and shall possess the land of which Yahuwah swore to your fathers. And you shall remember that Yahuwah, your Elohim, led all the way these 40 years in the wilderness to humble you, prove you, to know what is in your heart, whether you guard his commands or not. Now, if we take, let's pick on the Christians. If we take 10 basic Christians out of any different denomination of Christianity, can we look at them and their life and go, do you guard the commands of Yahuwah or not? Most of us are going to look at the life of people that are worshiping on a Sunday, that are eating unclean foods, that are, they do whatever they want to do. They don't keep any appointed times, right? They don't have Passover. They don't have Sukkot. They just don't have anything, right? Nobody even cares, right? Is your heart prepped for the kingdom, right? If you think we're going to go into the kingdom and it's going to be just like this world that we are in, it's not going to be such a thing. The kingdom people are all going to very much take the seventh day Shabbat off. Every single appointed time that we have been called to do, that we are doing right now in remembrance, is going to be continued for all time. So if you are practicing the appointed times of our Creator, you are getting into the rhythm of the kingdom road. Continuing on. 3, and he humbled you and let you suffer hunger and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, to make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but by all that comes from the mouth of Yahuwah. Now, this is important stuff, right? what comes from the mouth of Yahuwah, gentlemen?
Truth, life,
Torah.
The Torah. Thank you. Yes, the mouth of our Creator has given us the Torah, the hand of our Creator. That is what has supplied us with the greatest set of ruling guidelines and doctrine that mankind has ever known. So our Creator, this is reiterated, right? Man does not live by bread alone. It's over and over and over, right? We have Messiah that is tempted by Hasatan, and Messiah re-quotes this, that every man does not live by bread alone. And so it comes from the actual word of our Creator. And it doesn't come by simply reading. It comes by our Shema, by hearing and obeying. 4, your garments did not wear out on you, nor did your foot swell these 40 years. Thus you shall know in your heart that as a man disciplines his son, so Yahuwah, your Elohim, disciplines you. Therefore, reiterating, you shall guard the commands of Yahuwah, your Elohim, to walk in his ways and to revere him. Okay, so we have yet been given another set of statements. What do? We need to guard the commands of Yahuwah. And to do what? Well, to walk in his ways and to revere him. Gentlemen, how do we revere our Elohim Most High?
we obey him.
Yes, we do what he says to do. Because what is the opposite of if we don't care what he tells us to do and we are...
Obeying Satan.
Yeah, we obey Satan and his ways. And this is what Satan wants, right? Satan isn't out there just as his greatest rebel ever. Satan is there with his own world, with his own rules, his own regulations, and his power to bless those who are in darkness. And you will see that a lot. You will see a lot of these preachers that, they say they live humble lives, but yet they have all these vehicles and all these houses and the nice big fat church and all these people dropping in their 10%. They have all this money, tons of money, right? That's why they do what they do. This is why they are willing to lie to the people of the world behind their pulpits when, in fact, the scriptures don't say anything that they're speaking. They speak of Paul. They speak of Paul's ways. They are Palestinians. But when you counter that, when you say, what about the laws of our Creator? They will say, oh no, Paul's ways are the right ways. So Paul has become their Elohim, lowercase Elohim. Paul is their God. And for the most part, Paul is the Christian, or the God of the Christian religion. I don't know how you could say it any other way. When you look at the Catholics, they have a bunch of gods, right? They got Mary, who's a god. They have Peter, who's a god. They worship everybody. Everybody is being worshiped here, when in fact we have no precedent for this anywhere in scriptures. There's no precedent of ever praying to Mary, ever lifting Mary up, ever lifting Peter up, ever lifting any of these people up, right? They have statues of Paul sitting out there because they love Paul. And so we have to understand that if we want to be a part of the kingdom to come, we have to guard the commands. We have to walk in the ways of our Creator. 7, for Yahuwah your Elohim is bringing you into a good land, a land of streams of water, of fountains and springs that flow in valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley, of vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of olive oil and honey, a land in which you eat bread without scarcity, in which you do not lack at all, a land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills you dig copper. And you shall eat and be satisfied, and Barak, bless Yahuwah your Elohim for the good land which he has given you. Be on guard, lest you forget Yahuwah your Elohim by not guarding his commands and his right rulings and his laws, which I command you today. Okay, again, 3 times in this same chapter. Be on guard lest we do something. What is it we will do to offend our Creator?
Not obey the commands.
That's what it says. It says, by not guarding his commands, his right rulings, and his laws, which we have been commanded back then and today. It's not expired, guys. Lest you eat and shall be satisfied, and build lovely houses, and shall dwell in them, and your herds and your flocks increase, and your silver and your gold are increased, and all that you have is increased, that your heart then becomes lifted up, and you forget Yahuwah your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, from the house of bondage, who led you through that great and awesome wilderness, fiery serpents and scorpions and thirst, where there was no water, who brought water for you out of the flinty rock, who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers did not know, in order to humble you and try you, to do you good in the end. You then shall say in your heart, my power and my strength of my hand have made me this wealth. the mistake, right? We all fall into this trap. We've all done this. Look at what we have built. How amazing am I that I have the abilities to do all this great stuff, right? It doesn't matter if you're washing your dishes. It doesn't matter. A lot of times we fall into this, look at me. And at the end of the day, what are we looking at, right? We are looking at a designed entity created by a designer. It should be, look at how my creator has created me, that I can think through things, that I can have a thought process, that I can do all this kind of stuff. It's all because of the hand of our creator. Nothing has to do with us, right? Every time that we get pompous, every time that we're like, wow, we are really, really good, we're inviting in adversity. We are inviting in a realignment of our understanding of our mind, because it's absolutely the creator of the universe that knows every single freckle you have, every single eyebrow, every single wrinkle that is on you. It does not matter, right? That's why there's fingerprints on a human body. They're all different, right? Every single fingerprint is different. You don't get two people with two different fingerprints that are the same. Everything is unique. You have been created uniquely. You have been given eyes to see, ears to hear, the ability to think, a heart to drive your body. Everything is perfect. That's where our praise needs to be, is to our creator and to our Elohim for giving us all of this. It's not us. We didn't do any of this. 18. But you shall remember Yahuwah your Elohim, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth. Absolutely. In order to establish his covenant, which he swore to your fathers, as it is today. If you guys are in wealth, if you guys are in poorness, if you guys have two nickels to rub together, be thankful to your creator who has given us this ability to do this, right? This is who takes care of us. He takes care of the birds of the Shaimaim. It is our creator. And it shall be, if you by any means forget Yahuwah your Elohim and follow other mighty ones and serve them and bow yourself to them, I have warned you this day that you shall certainly perish. Okay, what are following other mighty ones?
It means worshiping other Elohim, worshiping idols.
Do you think Halloween is a foreign mighty one?
Absolutely. I think any holiday that's not of Yahuwah is a foreign mighty one.
Yeah, because, at the end of the day, these things don't come. Like Halloween didn't come because of a whole bunch of holy people, right? A whole bunch of people didn't go, let's celebrate the creator's existence. Let's dress up as messengers and let's pretend that we're part of the kingdom, right? None of this. It doesn't matter if it's Ishtar, where they were killing the babies off and killing all this stuff. It doesn't matter about Saturnalia, where they're doing sacrifices worldwide. It doesn't matter about any of this. If you participate in any of this worldly stuff, you're forgetting your Elohim and you're serving other mighty ones. It's a tough world we live into, right? These are tough things that all of us have got to figure out. And, it's simple enough to look on the back of a $1 bill and wonder who our governments have worshipped. Why is there an all-seeing eye of Satan on the back of a $1 U.S. bill? What does it mean? How did it get there? Why do we live in this kind of a satanic land, and yet everybody thinks it's in God we trust? Continuing on. 20, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Like the nations which Yahuwah is destroying before you, so you are to perish, because you did not obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim. Now this doesn't sound like, to me, guys, gentlemen, nailing the laws of our Creator to the cross. I have never ever run into this particular thing. Does anyone catch nailing your laws to the cross on any of this?
I haven't seen it.
It comes completely different. And so in that it is completely different, I don't think that we should be nailing these things to the cross. It's ridiculous, right? When we have any kinds of stuff, it is madness. All right, just looking through the chat real quick here.
Talking about churches.
The old Kirkes.
Yep.
We are not in the New Covenant right now. He said, Paul said we're in a New Testament, not coming. Yeah, this is, it's tough. It's tough talking to people that worship Paul, right? I mean, Paul can do no wrong. It's just, people literally think that Paul died for your sins, and Paul does speak a different doctrine that you find in the rest of Scriptures, right? 7/8 of the Scriptures say something completely worded different than how Paul puts it. And that's why for those of us that are astute, when we study Scriptures and we look at it, all we can do with Paul is just go, ugh, Boy, howdy. Yeah, and I mean that we're Boss Clan, right? We put these scriptures together. We've had so many jokes about ripping Paul's books out, right? Like, yeah, this is the time right here. We can change all this. But we didn't. We just let Paul run and do what he's going to do and say what he says. And there's a litmus test for people that are out there, right? Do you serve man or do you serve Elohim? And a lot of people are like, well, Paul's letters wouldn't make it into the scriptures unless they were holy, unless they were Kodesh. Well, you don't know that, right? Somehow we ended up with 66. Somehow we had a Freemason, King James, who was a witch, a warlock guy putting together all this stuff. Somehow these unkodesh people had their hand in all of this stuff, and sometimes we end up with 66 books. Sometimes we end up with all the old Apocrypha ripped out, and this is the way it is. Sometimes they change the name of Yahushua to Jesus, and we just don't know why. All right, here we are into this. You got something mystical?
Mr. Brad, he says, aren't the Levitical laws nailed to the Ark of the Covenant?
I've never read that. You want to read that?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd want to run a nail into these things. You'd probably end up getting smoked down.
He died and he nailed the law to the side of it.
No, so Mr. Brad, the Levitical. Well, I think what he's talking. I think what you're okay. I understand what you're saying, right? You're talking about the sacrifice side of the Levitical laws, right? You have to understand the sacrificial side of the Levitical laws are just one part of the laws of the Levites, right? You're not talking. Yes, we do not have sacrifices. We do not have the ability. We would be just like the sons of Aaron that are making strange fire, that were actually trained up and still jacked it up. But as far as grabbing a goat or a sheep and taking it out back and sacrificing it in your backyard, that's not a good idea, right? And we don't need that because we ended up with a full-on priest. We ended up with a Melchizedek priest, a priest not ordained by the hands of man, but ordained by the hands of the Most High. And that's Yahushua, right? And when the temple veil ripped, that essentially gave us a different way forward. Instead of us having to, go into the temples and to find our Elohim. It's what our Messiah said, right? In the future, it doesn't matter where you worship our Elohim, you will worship. You don't have to go to Jerusalem to worship him. And so, no, we don't have the Levitical side sacrificing style of this. But as far as the Levites, I mean, there was a tremendous amount of laws, for men, women, kids, all this stuff that they were holding up as well. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, it is opposite. Sister Barb's right. When you light up the verses of what Yahushua taught versus it is very much different. And Mr. Cole went and grabbed that book that Sister Barb was talking about last week. What was it called? Jesus versus Paul or something?
Yeah.
I think it was something like that. And yeah, you line it up. It's not good, right? I mean, if you want to be a follower of Mashiach, of our Messiah, Yahushua, you wouldn't want to get strapped down into these kind of things. You wouldn't want to become a follower of Paul, especially when his doctrine is different, right? It's all suspect. Okay, here we are. John 2. Jade, take us away.
All right, so in the first chapter of John talking about how Yahushua was in the beginning. He's with Yahuwah the entire time. And then he talks about how he went out to the wilderness to go get baptized. He got baptized. Joe Kahn said he was the one preparing the way. And then he went and grabbed some of his Talmidim, some of his disciples. We got quite a few of them already, so he went and found them all different ways, and they saw things and they believed, and they are now following him.
Okay, let's get into John 2. And on the third day there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Yahushua was there. And both Yahushua and his Talmidim were invited to the wedding. And when they were short of wine, the mother of Yahushua said to him, "They have no wine." Yahushua said to her, "Woman, what is that to me and to you? My hour has not yet come." Gentlemen, why do you say this?
Because he wasn't ready to announce himself to the world yet.
Yeah, and when you go to a wedding and everybody's out of wine and then you, behold, poof, right? Everybody's like, who did this? How did he do this, right? It's going to be something you can't unclang.
Word's going to spread very fast.
Yeah, you can't unclang that bell. And so it's one of these things that Messiah was always on the edge of who to talk to, who to tell this to. And at the beginning of his ministry, a lot of this was kept on the down low, right? Let's be quiet. Let's not get a lot of attention because Messiah had a lot of work to do prior to his mission being complete. 5. His mother said to the servants, do whatever he says to you. And there were 6 stone water jugs standing there, according to the mode of cleansing of the Yahudim, each holding 2 or 3 mitras. Yahushua said to them, fill the water jugs with water. And they filled them up to the brim. And he said to them, now draw out and take it to the master of the feast. So they took it. But when the master of the feast had tasted the water that had come from the wine, and did not know where it came from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew, the master of the feast called the bridegroom, and said to him, every man at the beginning puts out the good wine, and when they have drunk, even that which is poor, you have kept the good wine until now. This, the beginning of the signs Yahushua did in Cana of Galilee, and manifested his esteem. And his Talmidim believed in him. After this, he went down to Capernaum, he and his mother and his brothers and his Talmidim, and there they stayed not many days. And the Pesach, the Passover of the Yahudim, was near, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem. Okay, this is another example of our Messiah keeping the appointed times of our Creator, right? A lot of people have never read the scriptures, and they think that our Messiah came for a whole another round of religion. Like Messiah came to start up the Christians. And he never did that, right? He never came down and said, okay, guys, we're going to start a new religion. Never once. That never was uttered from his mouth. None of this stuff. The word Christian they have gotten from the book of Acts, right? This is like all of a sudden they find a follower of Christ. And if you are a follower of Christ, shouldn't you do what your Christos, your Mashiach has done? It seems very bizarre that people want to follow our Messiah, but they don't want to follow his laws, statutes, and commandments at any means. Okay. 14, and he's in the temple, and he found in the Mikdash those selling oxen and sheep and doves and money changers sitting, and having made a whip of cords, he drove them all out of the Mikdash with the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the money changers' coins and overturned the tables. Now, for those who do not understand, when you go in and do a robbery or you do something in a store, and it's the owner of the store, they're not going to give you the money, right? It's going to do the last thing possible. They're just, most of the people that own the store aren't going to give the money. Now, if you're just working there, you're probably going to hand them the thing. Don't shoot me. I don't want to get shot. But our Messiah was able to do something as one single man that all of these vendors, more than likely, were going to raise the roof. Like, you're not going to go kick over our stuff. There's more to this this incident than just Messiah going crazy and beating them all up with a whip, right? Where are the people that jumped up and stopped this? Where are all these other people? He did this with a power that was in him that we don't have any text of a dispute. We don't have any text of these guys that are, you're messing with their livelihood of selling their wares. And Messiah was able to do all of this and didn't get arrested at this point. Very interesting. 16. And he said to those selling doves, take these away. Do not make the house of my father a house of merchandise. And this town remembered that it was written, the ardor for your house has eaten me up. And the Yahudim answered and said to him, what sign do you show to us since you are doing these? Yahushua answered and said to them, destroy this Mishkan, and in 3 days I shall raise it. Then the Yahudim said, it took 46 years to build this Mishkan, and you are going to raise it in 3 days? What is he talking about, gentlemen?
His body, himself.
He's talking about his temple, right? And that's what's going to happen. And these guys were unable to figure this out. So, sorry, folks. 1. But he spoke about the Mishkan of his body. So when he was raised from the dead, his Talmud remembered that he said this to them. And they believed the scripture and the word which Yahushua had said. And when he was in Jerusalem at the Pesach, at the festival, many believed in his name when they saw the signs which he was doing. But Yahushua was not entrusting himself to them because he knew all men and had no need that anyone should witness of man, for he knew what was in man. Okay. All right. So that is yet another beautiful reading out of this stuff, guys. And so let us get into our final book here, which we are into chapter 3 of the book of the Nazarene. And this is where we're getting into some massively meaty thing. Well, we're not going to do an entire chapter, but we will do a little bit of this. Somebody give me a recap real quick on the book. Hey, wait, Dolly. Dolly made it in. Whoa.
We haven't seen them for a while.
No, we haven't. We didn't know where they went. Good to see you guys. Okay. Khalidi, somebody give me a breakdown. 1, 2.
So Yahushua is being his journey, talks about him being born, going to find Yochanan. We find out Yochanan is a little bit different than we actually thought of him before. He spends time with Yochanan, he tells him he's the one who needs to be the one to go save everyone. And then he starts collecting disciples. We learned that as a youth, he went to the wise men, he got left there, he started teaching, he freaks his parents out that he was lost. And then he is going around starting to call people and says, come follow me.
Okay, here we go. Coming from the wilderness, Yahushua still retained the full power of the Ruach HaKodesh, having it on trusteeship from Elohim. He would not use it unworthily. At night it shone around him like a pale blue haze, and though many have it, never has another manifested it in such strength. I find this very interesting, right? You get a lot of stuff in the book of Khalidi, the book of the Nazarene, things that we don't understand, right? Because we don't have a tremendous amount of doctrine when it comes to the Ruach HaKodesh. We understand, that is the power of the Most High. We don't exactly understand how he wields it, but we understand that it's essentially something that is around us at all times. It's in everything. And we also understand from scriptures that the cleaner you make your temple, the more in line you are with the kingdom, the more your Ruach HaKodesh will be able to be filled up, right? The more that your temple will be able to take in the Ruach of our Creator. And so it's one of these things that it's the more Kodesh we get, the better shot we have of being filled up with the Ruach HaKodesh. Two followers of Yochanan the forerunner, one being Andre, the brother of Shimon, were sent by him to be with Yahushua and accompanied him to the Sea of Galilee of the nations. Early in the morning, Andre sought out his brother and said, "We have found the deliverer." But at the time, Shimon thought another was meant. When Yahushua had known Shimon for 2 days, he said, "You are strong, silent, and steady, one likely to be ever steadfast in conflict. Therefore, you shall be called Kepha." This meaning, the rock in the tongue of the nations. And from that day, Kepha became a follower of Yahushua. Passing along the shore, a fisherman, and a boat was being unloaded by its owners. One who accompanied Yahushua said, "Those are good men known to me." Then Yahushua spoke to them while sharing a meal and later said, "Fishing is a good life, but there's a better one. Follow me, and you will become fishers of men." So placing their boat in the keeping of others, they followed Yahushua. In the Basora, in the Matthew, Mark, Luke, John context of things, we get, we have a couple of different incidents where our Messiah went to people fishing and we're like, "Follow me." And we don't know the previous. We don't know what happened prior to that. We just know that some guy was on the shore. And if you're a fisherman in a boat, this is your livelihood, and this is how you provide for your family. And some guy is sitting on the shore saying, "Drop everything, come follow me." A lot of times you're just gonna look at this guy and goes, "That guy's crazy. Wonder what he wants. Why would I stop everything that I do?" So you can probably guarantee that the Ruach HaKodesh was working in these guys probably all their lives, right? To the point where they were ready for these moments to where our Messiah could say, "Hey, come follow me. I'll make you fishers of men." It's being able to listen to that little quiet voice and understand when the Ruach HaKodesh is working in your life. And, one other thing is, when in the Basora, there was a time when the disciples were out fishing and they caught nothing, right? And then there's that guy on the shore and he was yelling to him. He goes, "Throw the net to the other side." And they're like, "We've done that." And these guys are professional fishermen, right? These guys didn't need to know which side of the boat to put it on. These guys, they lived their entire lives till death or famine, famine or life, fishing these shores. And so when they had some guy that was yelling for them to do this, it seemed a little weird. But then they did it, right? And if you guys remember, the amount of fish that they caught was 153 fish, right? And in Hebrew gematria, 153 means sons of Elohim, which means you and me, right? Those of us who are in covenant, those of us who are willing to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. So they caught 153 fish, and the entire point of that incident when Messiah was on that, with that number 153, is that we should be fishing for men and not fishing for fish. And when we are fishing for men, those are the sons of Elohim. And this is what we are all called to do, right? We are called to be heralding people for the kingdom. And you don't get to the kingdom by this religious satanic cult system that says, you know, come to the altar call, raise your hands at 8 years old. Once saved, always saved. You got this. Enjoy your pig flavored nachos, right? That's not what this is all about. Continuing on. Yahushua spoke with caution, for the people still recalled Yehuda from Galilee, who had smitten the Romans in battle. Yahushua was a man of long silences, and many thought him strange. But he taught all along the shore of the Sea of Galilee and called others to follow him. They worked wherever they could. For Yahushua said, what we offer is not to be sold like common chattel, and we will not take anything without giving value in return. You know, the one thing that we get out of the book of the Nazarene is that Messiah was a worker. And all of these guys, you know, again, we don't get this out of the Torah. We don't know how these guys actually made their livings beyond the fisherman's side, right? Once they started working with Messiah, how did they still eat? And this gives us a lot of interesting info that they still kept their jobs, right? They still kept doing, they were always working. They were always using their hands to provide for themselves, even though they were providing the spiritual food to others. 7, he healed many, saying, it is not I, power from above with me. And again, you know, we talk about this a lot. You know, I understand that a lot of people are stuck in the Trinity. And I'm sorry that my message always goes against the Trinity, but it's always going to go against the Trinity. It doesn't mean I have a beef with you. It doesn't mean that I am upset with you. It's just what I have found in scriptures that I have convinced myself. I don't even need to convince myself. The scriptures have convinced me that the Messiah and his dad are not the same individuals. When Messiah says this right here, he healed many, saying, it is not I, but the power from above with me, right? If Messiah was Yahuwah, then he just lied to us. And then we would have to say, well, that means he lied again. And when we go down this road of, is our Messiah able to lie? Well, he wouldn't have been qualified to be a sacrifice on the stake. If he was breaking the Torah commandment of do not lie, when he's lying us and deceiving to us, when it really is this mystery duality thing, a Trinity thing, you call it whatever it is, it's not what it is, right? It is not I, but the power from above with me. And this is what I have to do, is I have to take my scriptures with truth. I can't take one verse out of Isaiah that's been translated improperly and go, okay, well, the Creator and the Son are the same individuals. Because we have all of these other times, enormous amounts of times, probably 60, 70 times where Messiah very clearly defines who he is, that he is not the Father. We have all of the witness testimony of all the people, the Talmudim that were with him. John the Immerser, Yochanan the Immerser, right? This is the Son. This is the Son. They all say the same thing. This is the Son. Peter, right? Either everybody's completely off their rockers and deceived, or we have been deceived by this man-made tradition of this Trinity. And unless people can point to me scriptures, legitimate scriptures, that very clearly tell me the Father and the Son are the same individuals, and I'm not talking a verse in Isaiah, I'm not talking about saying I am, and that's where your thing. I'm talking about legitimate, where Messiah says, I am Elohim Most High, I have come in another form. I'm not quite him, but I kind of him, but you know what I'm saying, right? He never says anything like this. Continuing on. Some of the Talmudim said, it is truly he who heals, but he did not cure all, for in some it created disturbance, while many were cured because this would have done them more harm than good. We hear about that a lot. We hear a lot in the book of the Nazarene that not everybody was healed, right? Some things, you know, you heal a guy that's on the side of the road for 30 years and he goes out and starts murdering people, right? He can get around. This guy had like evil heart. A lot of things we do not know, and Messiah would not heal everybody. 10. When asked, how do you heal? Yahushua replied, by the finger of Elohim. This is what the Nevi'im had said regarding these things. These are the words of Yahuwah. I will restore you to health and heal your wounds. Be strong of heart and courageous, neither afraid nor dismayed, for I am with you always. About this time, the Talmudim questioned Yahushua concerning the world of Ruach, wherein lay the reign of the Shamayim. And he said, it is like a flight of stairs leading from cellar to roof. Those who enter the house are given a place on the stairs and may step downwards and back, but never up. Though the stair above them is not unknown to them, those on the top stair are in glorious sunshine, while those at the bottom are in darkness and gloom. I think that's a good place to stop. Let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about verse 11, gentlemen. Why is the Shaimaim? Why is the rain? Why is getting to the kingdom like a flight of stairs leading from cellar to roof? And when we enter the house, we have a place on the stairs, but how is it that we can ever get up? And how is it that we can see, but we're stuck in a pit? What does this mean?
So basically, we can't go up where we have a set spot, but we can lose our spot by basically sitting.
Yeah, but it says we can go downwards, but we can't go up. And when you look at things like the Christian religion of once saved, always saved, OWAS, I think is what they call it, or OSAS, what is it? Once saved, always saved. Yeah, OSAS. It doesn't make any sense, right? Because if Messiah very clearly says right here, this is a same thing as depart from me, right? You may step downwards and back, but never up, though the stairs not unknown to them, right? And that's for all of us, right? We can all see the kingdom. For those of us that are looking hard, and I get it. Those who don't study scriptures have no idea what the kingdom looks like. But we all have the ability to look at this set of stairs, and we all have a place that we can work at. And our objective is not to walk down into utter dismay, into utter darkness. As people of Yah, those who are willing to be obedient to his laws, statutes, and commandments, every single day we have to work a little bit harder to make sure we're not going down the stairs. We need to make sure that we are positioned in a spot to where we can take our last breath and we're not going to be in a horrible, horrible place. And so, guys, if you've never been a lover of the Torah, if you've never been a lover of our Creator and his Son, today's the day. Right? We're not promised tomorrow. None of us can go to bed tonight and just know for certain that we're going to rise up in the morning. Today could be our very last day. Today could be that last day that we make a choice to serve our Creator. And it's not a inspirational thing where you just get inspired and you do it for one time or anything of the sort. It's that the Torah is a lifestyle change. It's something that we walk a different path. And it's not always the same, right? If you're those people that love Halloween and Christmas and all this other satanic stuff, it's a little weird to begin with, right? Separating ourselves from that demonic, satanic stuff. We all come from there's a part of being birthed into the Torah where we are walking the Torah as that new man. And that new man isn't looking back. We're not looking to these satanic holidays. We are looking at the kingdom to come. And this is what our hopes and our joys are in. So with that, everybody, we love you guys very, very much. Much love. Jade, will you please bless us?
Yahuwah barak you and guard you. Yahuwah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yahuwah lift his face upon you and give you peace.
All right, beautiful family. We love you guys. Asking for prayers. Many witches working at my new job all around me. Definitely, we pray for all of you guys. Guys, lift Sister Barb up in prayers that the forces of darkness, I mean, it's just, we're living in such a corrupt world. It's just like, there's literally, I have no doubt that she probably works with witches. We all do, right? If you're not serving the Most High, by default, you're serving Hasatan. You may not be a blood-sucking, Satanist, but at the same time, you don't need to have chosen the wrong path. So we love y'all.
Through every pain, they mock the high
right, beautiful family. I guess next week we are going to be the same time for you guys. We're swapping with the U.S., so I think we'll start at
We'll do it noon our time.
noon our time, but it'll be 11 your guys' time, I think. So we're
For the
moving
central people.
for the people in the U.S. So
Nothing will change for anyone in the U.S.
No, they'll stay
yeah.
the same time.
you guys will do it. We will move to your guys' schedule so we can do it around 11 o'clock. The rest of the world, I don't know if you guys have daylight savings time or not. But we love you all very, very much. May Yahuwah bless you and keep you. May his light forever shine on you. May the word of the Torah forever be in your hearts, minds, and souls. May you embrace your family, completely immerse them in this Torah, and may Yah forever be a part of our lives. Until we can get to the kingdom to come and high-five each other, give each other big hugs for obedience.